Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hi, everybody. This is Alex Bennett, and I've had a long and interesting trip. It's called life. And for years, people have demanded that I write a book about it, and while I've been a writer, my main talent has always been that of a broadcaster. Over a year ago, I decided not to write the book, but using my best skill, I decided to tell it. It's called Life in the Passing Lane, and I described it as an audio biography. It's presented in 30-minute chapters, so it's easy to binge listen. And you can access it on the GabNet page by clicking on Life in the Passing Lane and going to a page with every single episode, plus some extras. If you want to access it on your mobile device, that's easy too. It's on iTunes. It's Life in the Passing Lane, an audio biography by me. I'm Alex Bennett.
Every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, get yourself comfy and listen to GabNet's Late Night Lady, 30-Minute Marjorie.
I'm going to bed. I've had a hard week. I think it's lacking nookie. So I'm tired.
That's my wife, by the way. If you just joined us, I'm Alex Bennett. This is The Ramble. It goes till midnight.
I think we should take bets.
What
time I'm going to fall asleep.
On tonight's show?
Yeah, all bets.
I'm saying you'll make it through the first half hour.
I'm usually good for half an hour. It's after the half an hour that...
Last week, before the half hour was over, you were falling asleep while I was talking to you.
That's not true.
That's true.
That's not true.
It's true.
How could I talk back to you if I'm asleep?
30-Minute Marjorie is not an official program on the Great American Broadcast Network, a tune-in partner. The length of Marjorie's appearance will vary on each and every Friday night, depending on how tired she is.
We're GabNet, and we've got you covered live 5 nights a week. First Tuesday through Friday at 9:30 Eastern, it's The Exchange.
Let's capture you. I mean, who are all these people who are watching these cooking shows? They're stoners, right? So I'm wondering, is this a program that Netflix has absorbed? I don't know, what is the purpose of Netflix making a 14-minute show? Now, aside from those two interesting facts about this show, the show is fucking terrible. Do not watch this show. It fucking sucks.
Tuesday through Friday at 10 Eastern. Join Alex Bennett on The Ramble.
Say goodbye to the unions.
Renee, what was the decision? And then we'll go to Patrick.
It doesn't matter. Just say goodbye to the unions.
No. But I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you what was in the decision yesterday.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay, let me look it up.
Yeah, he'll go look it up at glennbeck.com.
Tuesday through Friday at midnight, The Intersection.
Most high school boys, what have we got on our mind? Sex and girls and sex and sex and sex.
And booze and drugs.
Yeah, the Asian guys I knew in high school, I'm sure they thought that way, but perhaps they were more disciplined about it. Although there was this Japanese girl in high school that your old friend, the Black Avenger, had the hots for. Oh, my God. Be still my sake wanting to drink self.
If you like sports, we've got that too, with The Arena, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Well, and even if you did that, it doesn't give you the right to grab your Uber driver's private. I mean, and like, what part of that to him sounded like a good idea?
Oh, she played a special song.
Finally, you can get hot and bothered on Connections at 10 p.m. Eastern Monday, and by delay Tuesday through Friday at 1 a.m. Eastern.
Now, of course, you got your Bundy barbecue. We did that here. It's going to be cool. So we have a few of them out of the state of Florida, right? We got Danny Rawlings.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so we can look at that. That'll be fun. So, okay. So, well, I don't want to shoot the whole lot right there. No.
I'm sure Dahmer will come up somewhere.
Dahmer! Oh, yeah. He was fun. A looker, too.
Catch up on all the shows with our weekend flashback. All shows have the Citizen Panel, an exclusive concept of GabNet. It's new. It's daring. It's talk like you've never heard it before. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GABNET, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hey everybody, how are you? Let me turn my light on here. There we go. Let me turn my picture on. And hi there. It's Friday, and it is the beginning of a weekend. You slowed down a little. Wait a minute. The trouble is, I gotta. Your cameras too. See, you never come in. I never can get you to come in and.
Alex, I'm always in here.
I can't get you.
Come in a couple minutes, and so I can adjust.
Yeah, well, you don't do it. So.
Well, you never asked.
Huh?
You didn't ask.
So I can't adjust. So now I got to adjust.
Well, you never asked.
Well, when I ask you, okay, it's too much time. It's too much time.
Never.
Huh?
Never.
There we go. That's a little better.
You sound like Trump. You live in your own little bubble.
Wait a minute. I live in my own little bubble.
Yeah.
I'm like Trump.
You sound just like Trump.
Is that nice for you to say? There we go. I guess that's better. For some reason, you're too big.
Should I move back?
I'm down a little bit here. So.
Should I move back?
Huh?
Should I move back?
Well, I don't know, but for some reason I have you zoomed. No, I have you. No.
How's that?
No, that's not good. That's not good. Anyway, that's girlfriend. How are you? See, you're taking up more of the frame than me. I can't figure this out. Just get closer. Just get closer, and let me adjust it once again.
It's fine with me. It's 10:08.
No, but it's not okay with me, and that's the problem.
Did I miss Damien?
Huh?
Did I miss him?
You might have. If the picture turns blue, that's the new way you can tell.
What do you mean the picture turns? Is it the background?
You'll see. Yeah, background disappears. Let me see here. Configure video, and there we go. And what do you know? It's as far back as it can go. I don't know why you're not smaller than you used to be. Oh well.
It's called life.
Huh?
It's called life.
Yeah. I'm. Well, anyway.
Anyway.
Let me go to the split screen here, and we can. There we go. See, I mean, next week, before we do this, you're going to come in 10 minutes ahead of time. We're going to set it up because see how small I am in comparison to you.
Oh, Alex, nobody's comparing size.
But here, I know what I can do. Here we go. I just do this.
There you go.
Well, then that's too little. Let me see here. There we go. Oh, hell. This is not working.
It's all right.
No, it's not all right. Oh, jeez. Now it's really screwed up.
Well, don't blame it on me.
Now you're not even in the picture.
That's fine.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me do this.
Help.
There we
Help.
go. There we go. Now.
Help.
More. There we go. Huh? No, it's not there. Damn it. I can't do this. This won't work.
It's okay. It's 10:10.
Hmm?
Just rolling on.
Everybody, you see? There's a problem here. Here we go. Now let me do that. And now that's too high. And now we go. We do that. I can't get it to work.
It was fine.
No, it isn't fine.
It was fine.
It's not fine now.
It was fine before you fucked it up.
There we go. Now I do this. And how is that? We can't even see it. Now, this is ridiculous. There we go. That's why I hate doing this thing on TV. Because things like this. There we go. There we go. Okay, now. Oh, now that looks right.
There we go.
That looks right now.
Okay. It took 11 minutes.
Did it take 11 minutes? Well, we have nothing else to talk about anyway. So.
Are you going to show the Costco?
Huh? In a while, not now.
Oh, I wanted to see it before I went to bed.
Well, you'll see it before you go to bed.
Okay.
You'll see it when you finally roll over here. You won't be able to see it from there.
I'm ready to roll over.
You're not ready to roll over yet. It's not rollover time. Boy.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
There's nobody watching this thing anymore. Nobody watches this show anymore. Nobody
likes to talk to old people.
You don't even watch it.
I watch it.
No, you don't.
After Morning Joe, I watch it.
After Morning Joe.
After Morning Joe.
Yeah, you have to watch Morning Joe.
So at 9 o'clock, I put you on.
What do? You sit at work all day watching TV?
Well, I don't watch it. I have the earphones. I work.
You work?
I mean, once in a while I look up and I see
Is that
something.
what you do when I'm sleeping?
Yeah, I work.
You work?
Yeah.
I see. Anyway, so I have nothing to talk about. You went on vacation last week.
I wouldn't exactly call it 2 days of vacation. It was a long weekend.
All right. It was a long weekend. You took a long weekend.
Right. It was nice.
So tell me about your long weekend.
Went to Burlington to visit friends. It sounds tinny.
Will you just talk?
See? Do you see what I have to go through?
They can't hear that.
Do you see what I
turned up the volume so you could hear it better, but I'll turn it down now.
Oh, I don't care. It was just sounded tinny.
Oh, boy.
So I went to Vermont to visit friends.
Just the sound of your voice.
It was a...
What? Go ahead.
It was a girls' weekend. It was really nice.
That was it?
That was it.
What did you do?
We talked, walked.
Yeah.
Kayaked.
You kayaked?
Ate. That's about it. Shopped.
Yeah, and then today you had me put cream on your back for sun poisoning. You know, I've never heard of sun poisoning. I honestly believe that's something you invented.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Look it up in your Google.
Sun poisoning?
Yeah.
Really?
You never heard of it?
Never heard of it. I've heard of sunburn.
No, this is beyond sunburn.
What is it?
It could get infected, but it's like a degree more
of sunburn called sun poisoning.
Well, it gets serious.
I'm going to look it up.
Please
bet you.
do it right now.
What?
You'll bet me how much?
What? I'll
put the money up or shut up.
No, I'm not going to bet you money.
You never bet.
Well, no, because I might lose. But sun poisoning. Poison. Oh, here it comes right up. Sun poisoning.
No shit.
Okay, sun poisoning can become severe. You can become severely sunburned if you stay in the sun a long time and don't wear protection. That means you have to wear a condom when you're out in the
That's
sun?
right, over the whole body.
Okay, and then it goes on to say, you are more likely to sunburn if you have light skin and fair hair. Well, that's not you. Severe sunburn or sun poisoning can cause symptoms such as the following: skin redness and blistering, pain and tingling. Now, did you have any of those?
Yeah, I didn't have the blistering this time, but I have.
But you have pain and tingling?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, was that exciting up there? Getting?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
First of all, it was a nice break from you. I love you still, but it was nice.
Oh, it was nice not having you here.
Yeah, it was a girls' weekend.
It was a me weekend.
And Charlie, Adrian's husband, kind of like took us all under his wing. We felt like, what was the one about the, is it the Quakers, the Mormons? Remember they in New Jersey, they all lived together?
What?
The movie, the TV show.
You mean The Sopranos?
No, it was about a Mormon family.
They lived in Nevada.
Well, wherever they lived.
That's a far away from New Jersey.
Well, it looked like
she's describing the show. You mean Big Love?
Big Love.
That took place in Utah.
Well, it was like Charlie was Big Love. He took care of us.
Oh, okay. So you were the wives.
The wives.
Yeah. So and it was nice up there. It was
great.
You said it was hot, though.
It was hot, but the evenings it does cool down.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, you're up there in the mountains.
They have a very nice place up there, and it's really
really nice.
Really enjoy it. But this year we were going to go on a long trip, but now we're not.
Yeah, my office is moving, either sometime in September, October.
What happened? What happened? What is making noise?
Don't blame me.
I don't know. You're touching something. Anyway, so your company is moving.
Yeah.
That's because you were in the same offices with another company,
right,
that went out of business.
Well, they're not performing, so they're
not performing.
They're winding down.
Is that the new way of saying our company's going out of business?
They're winding down.
We're not performing.
They're winding down.
So how long do you have to stay in that office? So you have a rent, don't you?
Well, we have the lease till March, but we're going to try to get out of it.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
You'll leave it to somebody else, huh?
Well, I'll probably have to deal with it, but at some point I don't have to deal with it right now.
So you're looking for new digs?
Yeah.
Have you found any?
Found some that are promising, and still in the same neighborhood. They want to stay in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, well.
I would like to go a little further west. But
well, why don't you stay in the neighborhood as long as I'm doing my
physical
therapy, which is right across the street from you. Here's what she does to me. She says, you got to do your physical therapy, so make it like around, 2 o'clock, 2:20 or something, because I get off at 3, and then we can go home together.
Except this Thursday, I was booked.
This has happened all the time.
I was booked.
The last time that I had it, it was the same thing. Oh, I can't do it today. I got to get my nails done.
I was
Can't
booked.
do it today. I've got to get my hair done.
I was booked.
This woman takes more maintenance than a car.
Well, that's what happens when you get older.
Yeah.
It's true.
But anyway, so it was, yeah.
What?
Well, I just,
you had a good time. I bet you ate in bed.
Huh?
I bet you ate in bed while I was gone.
Once I kind of ate in bed. Yeah, I had some chicken salad. So I figured I would do it just to be...
I saw the stains.
Huh?
I saw the stains.
The stains? Oh, okay. So anyway, there are a few things I have to do here while we're talking.
It's 10:18. It's fine with me.
Basically, this is supposed to be a radio program, so, an audio program. So, but I just...
Can I roll over?
No, it's not even close to rollover time. Here we go. I got to fix my... There we go. There's that. All right. Okay, everything's okay. Save. Okay, so anyway... where were we? Oh yeah. So I when you're gone, I pretty much do what I would normally do for you when you were here. Okay?
Nothing.
No. I mean, I make the bed every day.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I could go ahead and not make the bed and you wouldn't know the difference.
That's true.
But here's what I did. I didn't make the bed.
Because you sleep on top.
Because I slept on top of the bed with a comforter over me. And I like that. I would rather do that, especially in this hot weather.
I like to get under the sheets.
Yeah, but then you don't get under the sheets because you throw the sheets to the side.
I do not.
And so I didn't have to make the bed because the bed was already made. All I had to do was put the comforter back in the right place.
That's not my problem.
And then I decided one night I said, oh, here I have some chicken salad. You know what? I'm going to go eat it in the bedroom. Because it would drive her nuts if she knew I was almost going to call you and FaceTime you with me eating in bed. Because that would drive you up a wall, right?
It would drive me crazy.
You get nuts over things like that.
Well, because you're such a slob.
I'm not
I mean,
a
we have
slob.
to put a bib on him because it's 99% guaranteed that something's going to spill out of his mouth.
Slob.
On the way from the bowl to his mouth, it's going to be all over the bed.
I'm not a slob. I'm not. I swear to you, I'm not a slob.
He is.
Huh?
You should look at the floor next to his side of the bed.
What's wrong with my side of the bed?
On the floor?
There are pants there.
Yeah, a lot of pants.
Yeah, well, I mean, every night you put your clothes out for the next day. Every day I have my clothes put out for that day, and they're on the floor.
Ready to jump in.
Yeah, no, I mean, usually I have a pair of pants there. That's about it.
Good.
Usually.
Good.
Yeah. And my shoes.
And your shoes.
But you never complain about it.
No, I just accepted it. But only in that little section.
Oh, okay, yeah. But otherwise, so I felt like, okay, she's not here. I can eat in the bed. I'll do that. That will, And I made sure that I didn't spill anything.
I saw stains.
There were no stains.
Well, I don't know what kind of stains they are.
Who knows?
The stains there aren't stains there. I see more stains on your side of the bed.
Because you turn the thing around. I know you do that.
What?
You turn the blanket around.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. You're saying
because
you're
saying
saying
you don't doesn't mean you don't do it.
It's enough trouble to make that bed without taking that cover and turning it over or around or whatever so that it looks like you made the mess.
You do that all the time.
No.
Yes.
It's
10:21.
It's good.
I want to see the film.
And not yet. Not yet. I said not yet.
Okay.
So anyway, so what happened?
9 more minutes.
So while you're away, the only other thing that I do while you're away is I have all my girlfriends over.
And you sleep.
And have the girlfriends over.
That's fine.
You know what? You know what I actually like about you not being here is that I can turn on the TV set, and when I get tired, I start dozing off, and I can just turn it off and doze off watching television. I can't do that when I'm in the other room.
Well, you have like other rooms where there's TVs.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if I get drowsy, I then have to turn it off and go lie in the bed, and then I'm kind of awake because I got
stay
undrowsy.
in that bed.
Oh, really?
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Well, it'd be comfortable staying in your bed.
Okay.
So, we got our electric bill this month, $500.
Just for the electricity.
Well, because I keep the air conditioning. I'm going to stop keeping the air conditioning on in here now because this is.
Well, I can see when you have a show like now.
But yeah, but
during the day, if it's hot, just keep the doors open and the fans.
But it's been so hot lately that I've had to turn it on at 10 o'clock in the morning and leave it on.
Yeah, but the fans
and by the time I
do
do a show,
it.
It's somewhat cool in here. But man, I mean, we only have 2 air conditioners. We use a lot, but we had them on so much.
Well, you had the
month.
third one on also at times.
Yeah, but very seldom. Very
no,
seldom.
but we had it on nonstop. Usually, it's a handful of times.
We had it on
over the summer.
We had it on for about 5 solid days.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
and because the whole heat wave stopped and then it came back again.
But fortunately, it's like 10 BTU, which is not huge, but we turn it on and put it on high, and it actually cools the whole hallway and a little bit of the other bedroom.
Yeah, 7 minutes. I'm just saying.
It's only 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
See. Did you see him sign on and off?
No, I missed it.
Okay.
He does it right away.
Yes, he's very good. It takes Jack about 15 minutes to do his show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It takes Damien
about 30 seconds. I've watched him do it.
Yeah,
he does it in under a minute.
Yeah, right after the show's over, he's got it almost.
Not right after, like maybe 10 minutes after.
I'd say he does it within 7 minutes.
I'm always sitting here when he does it.
Yeah, well, I can tell because I
can tell because I could see
when
it.
I run something like an interview with Pearl or with Bubbles or Ronnie or
whoever. Anyway.
Our boy, my mind.
When you run it, you know the time. What were you going to say?
Well, anyway, I'm running something else so I can go over and download his stuff and put it into the on-demand. And I always notice that about 7 minutes after, it's there.
It's there. He's fast. Damien
fast.
is good.
Damien's very good at it.
Very good. All right, should I roll over?
No. Well, okay.
Yes.
Here's what you do. Roll over. Roll over. Okay. And I showed this last night, but by.
And you say Jack repeats himself.
What?
On his shows.
No.
You said that.
No, there's a story that I put on one of the promos that we did. Okay, on one of the promos that we did, where I talked about where he talks about falling in love with this Japanese woman or this Chinese woman in school. And last night I'm listening to a show, and he's doing the whole bit over again. And I'm thinking, doesn't he listen to our promos? That's redundant. Don't do it.
Okay, so tell him the story.
Huh?
The little...
Oh, well, we played this last night, but she wants me to play it again
No, you
tonight.
said I'm playing it again tonight. So I said, great. Don't say you're playing it because of me. You told me you were playing it again.
Well, there's a downside to going to Costco with her. There are two downsides. Number one, it always costs more money because she always finds more things to buy than I would.
No more gummy yeast.
No more gummy yeast? No? Okay. Anyway. No more gummy yeast? I mean gummy fiber.
Fiber.
I like those gummy fibers.
Me too.
But you still have a whole bunch of them, so I can eat them.
Yeah.
Anyway, we go to Costco, and she always, every time I take her, we always wind up going past this certain aisle, and she always does the same bit. I mean, it's been, I don't think you've missed doing it.
When you have your camera on, I'm ready to roll.
No, but I've had the camera rolling several times over the last year. This isn't all the times you did it.
Oh, I know.
You like to yell out, "Hey, Alex," and don't say what it is because they'll see it. And then,
"Hey, Alex."
Yeah. And everybody will then look over and say, "Oh, he needs those, huh?"
Yes, he does.
You know. And so here now is a compilation of about a year's worth of going to Costco in 2.5 minutes. All right?
What were you saying?
I was saying it doesn't get old.
What doesn't get old?
I got your men's extra large Depends for men's.
You're upside down.
Here we go. Men's extra large. There you go. For 64 waists. Did you put it in your bag?
No.
Next to the potato chips.
So now you got to lift it up and put it back in.
Here, I'll put it back
Oh, by
in.
the way, those are for women, I think. Oh, no, those are men. Those are men's. Hey, 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 hey.
Pays for horses.
Yeah. You know what I almost did as a joke?
What?
I was going to buy some frozen shrimp scampi in a box.
Killed you.
Because she's making shrimp scampi. But you already picked yours up.
Alex got himself the wrong size and the wrong gender. So I have to return these and get them and get the right one.
Well, I'm getting out of here before you can do that.
Here's the look, Alex. It depends on the extra large. Should I get you one? Or two? They have a special.
She finds this very funny every week.
Here we go.
And then she only has to put it back in there. Oh, you're gonna drop it in my Marjorie, come back here. Marjorie, what are you doing? You shopping?
Extra large.
Huh?
Is this the size you want?
What?
Is this the size that you want?
I'm over here doing other things. I just ran right by there.
I'll get them for you.
Here, maybe you need some. Oh no, long time since you needed those.
I'll get you the Depends. I got them for you because we know how you depend on them.
They're yours right there.
Yours, baby.
Huh?
Exactly.
You know, it's getting to the point where it's not funny anymore.
You keep saying that.
You still find that funny, don't you? You still find that funny. We gotta let these people through, please.
Once again,
that's funny.
My husband doesn't know how to pick out his Depends. Where's an extra large? And by mistake, you got a small.
I just want to say, I think it's awful that she's telling the entire supermarket. Costco is not Fairway.
You haven't seen him yet.
Just, you know.
Yeah, you still find it funny.
Okay, there you go. Good. There you go.
And it's 10:30.
There's your tribute. There's your tribute.
Thank you, my dear. It was I'm cute.
Anyway, we had to do it that way.
I liked it. Open up the...
I played it last night, too.
Oh,
so
okay.
Now, we'll never play it again.
Yes, we will. Send it to me.
No.
I have some people I want to send it to.
Just good. Good. Oh, really?
Send it to me as a file.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that tiresome, worn-out bit, right? Right? You going to do it? You going to do it? Yeah. Anyway, let me see here. Let me take care of that. Update Skype. This version of Skype will be discontinued soon. To continue using Skype in the future, update to the latest version today. Fuck you, Skype. Once that happens, I may have to close the show down, or at least close down doing the video.
No.
Because it's not going to look good.
Nah, don't
but
cut
everybody else start calling, so I can so this look at this. You see this? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. So that goes away. Okay. Update Skype. This version of Skype will be discontinued soon.
Well, you know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, you knew
I just got the message that they're finally going to discontinue it.
Yeah, you knew it may happen.
Well, yeah, but what they're going to do is the new version doesn't look good on the air.
But isn't there something that is like Skype, but it's not?
I wish there was. I wish there was something as easy for people to use, but haven't been able to find it. So
we use one-source conferencing in our office.
So call me so that message will go away, okay? I don't like it. All right. So give me a call. The lines are open. This version of Skype will be discontinued soon. To continue using Skype in the future, update to the latest version today. Well, I'm not going to. Let them discontinue it. Once they discontinue it, we'll try the new one and see how it works.
Or there's other brands.
No, there aren't other brands, I'm telling you. And they're forcing us. They force us to do this thing, and that really pisses me off.
We're the callers.
Well, that thing's going to be a
filth-free night.
Here we go.
It's not a filth-free night.
All right, here comes Phil Meyer.
There he is.
There we go.
Okay,
now we got rid of that stupid-looking sign.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the mic is working tonight.
It's working tonight.
Working.
Yeah. Okay. No slapback, nothing like that?
No. What was your problem?
There's a defect in the board. The only way that I can control it is running it through the computer and using the controls on the computer. So I'm returning it, and I've ordered a new one from Adorama.
I like Adorama.
Oh, really? So that's going to cost you an extra $600, right?
Well, it's free shipping. It's $1,100.
$1,100, and you get free shipping. Wow.
Well, this one was $600 with the shipping.
What?
Is that for a microphone?
No, it's for a new mixing board.
Oh, is this called a mixing board?
Yeah. What I have here, I have to get a new one myself because one of these pots is getting rather dirty. So.
Well, I don't. The one I'm sending you, one of the channels is out, and through the earphones, I hear static. So if you don't like it, throw it away. Or
okay,
or fix it.
And with that, I'm going to say good night.
Okay, good night.
See you, Phil. Thanks for calling in. Much appreciated.
Yeah, well, I may have to discontinue this show altogether.
You're looking good, Phil.
Thank you.
Yeah, I may have to discontinue the show altogether.
Why?
If I have to go to a new version of Skype.
Well, you'll deal with that when you have to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
do you use that version of Skype?
I don't think so. No, I'm seeing everything the way we normally do. Yeah. Let me see what version. Check for updates. There is an update. It's ready to install. I will dismiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is your Skype number? Because if you go to
I'm number one.
No. If you go to about Skype, it tells you.
Yeah, I see
the number.
It's 7.59 parentheses 37 end parentheses.
What? Now, are you using a Mac?
Yes.
Oh, well, this is 7.41.0.101, which is the latest one. And you say you have 7.52?
5.9.
5.9.
And then there's a 37 in parentheses. Now, there's an update available for me. And, I'm not going to install it now because I've learned my lesson about that.
Yeah. Well, I may install the new one and see what, because I still have the ability to put in the old one.
Well, how do you go back? Do you have to just delete the new one?
I just delete the new one, and I have the setup for it. But, they're going to discontinue. I hate those people. I just absolutely hate those people. What was wrong with this Skype?
Maybe you should go back to the Mac for the Skype. Now, you didn't like it as much, but it may be better than
I'm sure they're going to discontinue it there, too.
They're a little lazier.
They're a little lazier, but, I could do that, But it.
So how does this board sound, even though it's got problems?
It sounds fine. Doesn't sound any different than the other one.
Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah. But all the pots should work. Well. Anyway, I'm sending this one back. The guy was very nice. I spent 40 minutes this morning with tech services at PreSonus, and they figured out that there's something wrong with the hardware on this particular unit.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do now? You bought that on eBay, right?
Yeah, and so I filed a thing that I wanted to return it because it was defective.
Yeah.
The guy had a 30-day warranty.
Yeah.
And he made no bones about it. He's even sending me a ticket to send it back at no charge.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
And he offered me compensation for my time, but I turned it down. He said he'd give me $80, to compensate me for the inconvenience.
Oh, that was very nice.
Yeah, I told him, I said, all I want is to return the thing. I'd appreciate it if you pay for the return postage, but I don't want to be compensated.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool.
He's going to have to get it fixed anyway.
Yeah. So maybe next week I'll actually go on with the new Skype and see how terrible it is. You used it once, right? You had it running.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't have it running on your machine?
No. You mean the one with the circles?
Yeah.
I've never had that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know why. It's just on the Mac it wasn't an issue. Have you tested it on the Mac to see what goes on?
No, I may put it on the other. You know what I may do? I may put it on the other machine and then call you or something and see how it works.
Yeah, that's fine.
Then I can deal with it on the other machine and not have to worry about
messing up this one.
Messing up this one. Yeah, but of course those are Macs though. That's the only problem. I do have a PC I could hook up and just test it out on the PC.
Yeah.
But, I just, it's not that I'm opposed to change. That's not the problem here.
Yeah, I understand. You like the look
it's
the current version.
I like the way it looks on the air, know. And
if you can only see 4 guests, then cut down the number of guests.
Well, if you can see 4 guests, but then I think as soon as somebody else talks, they pop up. You can see them.
Well, that might be interesting.
Yeah, it could be, or annoying.
Well, yeah, but when you have a product and you want to raise the price, like diamonds, what you do is you say, well, there's a limited amount of diamonds, and so therefore you have to pay a lot of money. That's what De Beers does.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with GabNet. If you want to have more callers, you'll limit it to 4, and then that'll be the new full house.
I just don't. I don't like the idea of having to use a new system. I may have to just go back to doing the show in audio. That's it. But
that works.
But I mean, I just think, there's been a lot of, if you go online, there's been a lot of hue and cry from people about the new Skype.
Oh,
that they just don't like it. It is universally hated.
Yeah.
Okay? and yet these people are trying to force it down our throats.
Have you tried the stuff that Rob has, the paid-for Skype, the business Skype?
It's no different. It's no different at all.
No.
And,
you're getting surrounded.
Yeah, I know. SG is here. SG, turn on your camera.
I think he has it on. It's just circling.
No, it's not here.
No? I see the circle.
There we go. There goes the circle. And here comes, he should pop in any minute. Now, there he is. Okay, yeah. Oh, and now he's wearing dark glasses tonight. I am surrounded, ladies and gentlemen, by right-wingers.
Yeah. What was the deal with this Cohen and the tape? And how could he release it if he was an attorney? Isn't there attorney-client privilege? Even if it
not when they raided his office and took the tapes.
Not
when they had a what do you call it, a
subpoena or warrant
or a search warrant or whatever. No.
Yeah.
And he did it. I think he recorded them to protect himself.
Yeah.
So that anything that happened was on the record. Are you ready for this, ladies and gentlemen? 3 Republicans. 3 Republicans.
Wow.
There's Patrick. Three
this is
Republicans.
A bad night for liberals.
Well, go ahead and beat up on me. I'm ready to get beaten up on.
Hey, we're the ones that love you best.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, so anyway, if we have to go to this new Skype, I'll just do it, and the show can look like shit.
You just have to accept sometimes you have no control over certain things, and just accept it and deal with it.
Well, it would be nice if the people at fucking Microsoft would listen to the public.
Have they ever?
Because to begin with, the people that create these programs aren't the people who use them. Okay?
That's a possibility.
And the people who use them know what they need. And when they change something, I'm sure it's happened with Patrick with something like a graphics program or something, and they changed it for the worse. And nobody ever asked them because some guy back at Adobe is jerking himself off saying, look what I can do.
Adobe's culture is a little bit different, I guess, than Microsoft, because when they developed Lightroom, they consult with so many photographers and they improve it all the time based on photographer feedback. They may have a different culture there than Microsoft.
Not from what I hear.
Well, I used to go to those monthly Adobe.
I know people who work.
Lightroom
I know
meetings.
people who work there.
Well, no, I would go to the meeting and at Adobe down on Townsend Street, and they'd serve free pizza, but I can't have that anymore. and they would do a presentation every month.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that over at Microsoft, they haven't asked anybody, hey, when you use Skype, how do you use it, and what little things would make it comfortable? And if we added little circles and people popped in and out, would you like that? No, they don't ask it. Some guys over at R&D at Microsoft are like jerking off every time they can get a circle to move or something like that. And they never come and ask me. Do you
think that when the circle pops up, because that's the person speaking, that might cause people not to talk over one another?
No, because they're not watching the show.
Aren't we on Skype when we're talking?
Oh, you're talking about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like to the third party or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go over to the other machine and play with it. And see what makes it work and not work.
Yeah.
But and I might have to go back and use the Mac to do the show with. That's always a possibility too.
Yeah, well, if I upgrade this thing later, I'll let you know if it's got circles. You know, I won't know until I call in. Actually,
well,
or I'll call
must
you.
be somebody out there who already has it installed, you know, and they could tell us what it's like, rather than me just being surrounded by Republicans.
Oh, Patrick raised his hand.
Yes, Patrick.
Yeah, I've got the circle there. Come up.
Yeah. And do you see everybody else though?
Well, I get 4 squares.
Yeah.
And they're quartered, you know, on the screen.
Yeah.
And then the top right is however many circles. However, you can only see, I think, 2 or 3 people. And then if it's more than that, it's one circle with a number in it, telling you how many other people are up.
So if they're off the screen, how large is your screen?
The circle itself, if you've got your screen right now quartered, circle itself is like a quarter of 1/4 of the screen.
Well, for instance, right now you and Alex are quartered on my thing. SG is 50% of the screen, and then I'm in a little box.
Yeah, and what I did is you can touch your little box and move yourself over into the half screen, and then it quarters everything.
Oh, I am in the half screen, but and I just clicked on SG, and now he's full screen, and you guys are down in the normal tape. You know, it looks like.
So when you've been on with this, when there've been like 9 other people, how do you see all the 9 people?
No,
I do.
No,
not with that.
I see. It's either 6 or 7, and then, like I said, it's 4 squares. It's quartered, and then I believe it's 2 circles where I can see the individual in it, but about a quarter the size of a quarter screen.
Yeah.
And there's an additional circle to the left of the other 2 that's just a number. So it tells you if there are 3 other people on the panel. Like right now, Jeff just popped up. So now I see the 4 of you guys, including me, and then Jeff up in the far right corner as a little circle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now, suppose Jeff starts talking. Does he suddenly get bigger?
No. He gets a white circle around himself.
And then how do I make him be a quarter of the screen?
You can touch him and move him. You in place of yourself or in place of me. Like right now, that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to move Jeff into my spot because I don't need to see me. But so now I'm just up at the top of the rectangle.
Really?
So all night long, I'm going to have to keep, on top of everything else that I do on this program, moving people's pictures into the screen,
Well, you're only going to be able to get 4 into the screen.
Right.
I mean, and then it's going to be arbitrary. However, whoever you want to be spotlighted, you know. But and everybody else is going to be, like I said, a circle. So now I'm in the upper right-hand corner and a rectangle. It's small, very small. And then whoever calls in next will be a circle. Whoever calls in after that will be a circle. And then whoever calls after that will all go into one circle with a number. So I'll only be able to see 6 people and then myself.
And then after that, it's just one circle with a number.
A number.
And, what happens when you double click on that number?
It may tell you who it is in there.
Yeah.
I haven't done that because I usually know who's in there. Just
can you click on that now?
No, because it's not there.
Oh.
Right now, there's only 5 of us here.
Yeah, but so, if let's say it says 3 there, and you double click on it, will you be able to see all the people that are in that?
No,
3?
You won't be able to see them.
So how do you manage to bring them full screen or quarter screen?
Well, that's what the problem is. If I want to see, like, if Kevin is showing something and he's up in the circle, and I've got 4 people around here, and I can't see Kevin, but you're saying that, what are you showing us, Kevin? What I have to do then is just like playing musical fucking chairs, Alex. I gotta click somebody in the circle, move them into somebody else's, and then everybody moves over like one thing, and then when you get to Kevin, I can put him in there. I'm used to it because I don't give a shit, because I don't need to see everybody.
Yeah, well, you're not doing a program here that you want people to see.
No, exactly. And that's the thing, and I know whose voice is whomever, so if Kevin comes in, and Scott and Phil, I just leave them as the four that are up, and then everybody else is circle, and Charlene calls in or whoever, John Rockwell, and unless they're showing something, I don't give a shit, so then you stay up there. But for your purposes, it really would, it's kind of a pain in the ass if you want to highlight anybody and show what's going on. So
yeah, I don't have the newest version. I just found out, but I double-clicked, which is something I never did before, and then it put everyone into a 25% square, rather than the what I had before, which was like a ribbon at the bottom, and then one large picture.
Well, you can do that by taking one per picture and enlarging them. Like, here, I'll do it, folks, so you can watch and see what he's talking about. See, and then you have all these people along the bottom.
Right.
Okay. And so if I want to bring Patrick into the picture, then I do that. And if I want to put SG into the picture, I do that. And if I want to put me in there, well, wait a minute, I want to put Phil in there. There we go. And then I can make me small. Okay.
Yeah. But if I double click, it turned it into 4. It was interesting. I've never seen that.
Yeah, I wonder what happens if I take this and I try to move this. Will this move? No, that won't move. Okay, well, I mean, who knows? We may not be doing video on this show anymore. Either that or I got to go to another system, but I haven't been able to find one. If anybody knows of one, and don't say Google Groups. It doesn't.
I know it's that's good if you're doing a presentation and you have a bunch of people.
Well,
there.
It's meant kind of for podcasts, but the problem with Google Groups is that it's just not as accessible to people. With Skype, everybody has Skype on their machine. Some machines come with Skype on it. So it's ridiculous. I give up. Maybe it's time to figure out another way. Maybe I should stop doing this as a TV thing. Just continue to do it as an audio thing, and say to hell with it. Because if I can't do a good-looking program, then I don't want to do it. What happened to SG?
I lost his camera.
SG,
I'm here.
Are you there? Turn your camera on. Your camera isn't on.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And by the way, SG, don't eat stuff with a knife in your mouth. It's not safe.
Yeah, but turn on your camera, SG. We can't see.
I'm here.
He might be bleeding.
Wait a minute, it's not going on.
Nah.
Well.
So, what's going on today? I've been totally devoid of the news. The only thing I heard was the Cohen thing.
Well, supposedly the government has a tape of Cohen talking to Trump about this Sharon. What's her name? I'm trying to remember her last name now.
Is that the?
You almost said hooker, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
No, the playmate of the year, as a matter of fact.
Oh. Well,
very pretty girl.
Yeah, let's see your whole. Yeah. Let's see your whole face, Jeff. You don't have to look like SG.
Okay,
Kilroy. So now I understand that she was not paid off.
Yeah, she was in a way.
Yeah.
What happened is they got the head of the
Inquirer.
Have you got a problem, Jeff, getting that camera kind of in center?
Yeah, I can't get it bigger.
Tilt your screen.
Tilt your screen
towards you.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Shoulders and your head.
What happened
That's
is
yeah, that's great.
Is her form of payoff was that the National Enquirer, whose publisher is a close friend of Donald Trump, offered her a deal to buy an article about her relationship with Trump, and then paid her, or half of it, only about half of it, and then didn't run it. It's called catch and release or whatever. It's a practice in which when you want to hide something, you buy it.
Yeah.
And there's
I guess that's not illegal, is it?
There are some, what was it? Some of the, yes, it is illegal what they did, and there are some, I forget what the different terms were that were used. One of them is wire fraud.
Well, I hear all of these guys, there's a guy that supposedly invented an engine that runs on water. And some car company, and this may be myth, but some car company bought the rights to it.
It's myth. There was a car that ran on water.
Yeah, it was called Stanley Steamer.
Yeah.
But, so this guy who invented an engine.
I think what it is a guy invented a powder that you add it to water and it becomes gasoline. That was the rumor.
All right. So, and supposedly they bought this guy's patent and then they buried it so they can continue to sell us fossil fuel.
Yeah.
It's a good story.
Oh, so it's a story.
But I don't think it's a real.
It's an urban legend.
Yeah.
You're having,
all right.
Jeff's having trouble with his camera.
Yeah, he's just
and
moving around a lot.
We still can't see. You're still there, right, SG?
Yes.
Yeah, but we can't see you.
You can't see me, but you feel me.
I feel your presence. Yes.
Yes. There you go.
So anyway,
I feel your pain.
What they did is he bought this article from her, and then they didn't run it. And they didn't pay her. They said they were going to pay her, I think, $75,000, and they only paid her half of it.
Or 150, and they paid her 75, something like that.
I think it was more like 75, and they paid her half of that. But anyway,
and she was supposed to get a few articles.
She was supposed to get. They were going to make her a featured columnist and things like that, and they never did any of that.
Yeah.
That was the way of shutting her up. And there are supposedly some things called like wire fraud. I heard mentioned, whatever that is. I've always heard that term. Yes, Patrick.
I noticed it relates to this. It's a little off the beaten path, but it just popped into my head. Is Hustler magazine still around?
Yes.
Because I could remember Flint was looking to pay anybody who would have dirt on, I forget, was it George W. Bush or whatever it was. And I was just curious if whoever's running Hustler now would be interested in, like, her story. Because just now it occurred to me that with the way the Trump administration is, if Larry Flint was still around, wouldn't he be all over this shit?
Well, yeah, it's just that they paid her for the story, and they own the rights to it, I think.
Yeah,
right?
but I think they recently said that they released the rights because of all the flack that was surrounding it.
That was for her, not for the porno star?
No. She could go tell her story somewhere else, I think, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, like with Hustler, why they wouldn't pick something like that up. Because isn't that something of interest for them? I mean, they've always had that reputation to try to skewer people.
Right. They probably couldn't get that article. That article, I'm sure, belongs to the National Enquirer, but she could retell it. She's already told the story to Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
So she certainly didn't get sued for doing that. You know, when her story first went on with Anderson Cooper, I said, between Stormy Daniels and her, I believed her more than I believed Stormy Daniels. Though I don't disbelieve Stormy Daniels, it was just that I found her more creditable. She was a nicer person. She didn't look sleazy like Stormy Daniels. You know, she in fact is a very religious person, and she
Now,
truly
that's why.
Yeah, and she truly was in love with Donald Trump.
Correct, but do you think that it was unrequited love, and that's what caused all her consternation?
No, I don't think so. No, I think she felt that in the end she got treated like shit. Is how I think, and it sounded like she was treated like shit. That she went with him for 9 months, and had a constant relationship going in which he professed his love to her.
She says
professed his love to her, and then all of a sudden he was refusing her calls and denying her existence and all those kind of things.
Those things happen.
Well, no, those things don't happen if you're a decent person.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you ever wanted to break up with somebody?
Yes.
You know,
and I've had the guts to talk to them personally and break up. In fact, I think somebody else broke up with her for Trump.
Well, you remember the girl that was stalking you? That she would call the station. She would call like 40 times, and finally you said, "Can you do something about it?" So I picked up the phone, I talked to her, and I said, "I'm going to get Steve the Ice Pick to take care of you." And she knew who that was. He worked at the Condor as the doorman, and she was afraid of him.
I don't remember that.
I vividly remember it. And then you said to me that I was being too hard on her. But
let her down lightly, Phil. Let her down lightly.
Yeah. So when I told her Steve the Ice Pick would talk to her, I never knew that she knew Steve the Ice Pick. I grabbed it out of the air because I knew him, and so I used his name just as a
But all I'm saying is you can sit there and try and dismiss this woman, but really she seemed, when I saw the interview, pretty creditable and pretty decent, and you can attribute to Stormy Daniels all the publicity getting stuff you want to, and you're probably right. But
I'm sure he fucked Stormy Daniels. But I'm sure he did. But so what?
What do you mean, so what? He just had a baby. His wife was sitting at home, and this is a guy who's running. This is a guy who's running to be. This is a guy who's running to be the moral compass of America.
He never promised that. All he
what
said
do you mean
was
he never
that he would
promised
look
that?
at stuff
that is implicit in the job, Phil. And if you had heard that Barack Obama was fucking around, you would have been on here putting him down for that. In fact, as a matter of fact, I think the other day you were defending Gohmert for his comments to this guy about having a mistress.
Was I? Yeah, I remember defending Gohmert or talking about
Gohmert. Yes, and saying the guy.
Oh, no. I was talking about Gohmert questioning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you were saying, well, and he was a sleazeball for cheating on his wife. Well, come on. You can't have it both ways, Phil.
Well, yes, you can. But that was Strzok and his lover, and Page. Strzok and Page. Page and Strzok.
Sounds like a legal firm.
Yeah. So, and those two, the things when you looked at Strzok, you just looked at him and said sleeves.
No, I
mean,
didn't.
just his eyes and his teeth and the way he parsed his smile and mouth.
I didn't find any of that to be true.
Well, that's because you wanted to believe him.
Well, that's because you didn't want to believe him. Yes, well, Patrick.
I got to be honest with you. I looked at Strzok, and he reminded me of a little less greasy Scaramucci.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Could they both have that George W. Bush smirk? And that's the thing that I couldn't stand about Struck. He constantly sat there with a smirk. And that's one thing. I mean, I voted for George Bush both times, but I hated whenever he was in front of the camera because you could never believe his sincerity because of that fucking smirk. And Scaramucci had that same smirk. So I was looking at Struck and I was thinking to myself, you just a cleaned up, less greaseball looking Scaramucci.
Now, have you seen Scaramucci on Fox doing commentary? He actually, he looks like a class guy now. You know, he's wearing beautiful suits and he's well coiffured and
he always was. He always was.
But he doesn't look like a sleazeball.
He was always a sleazeball too.
Well, as much as
by the way, is anybody
who was the mayor,
the
lieutenant governor of California?
Is anybody else going to call this show?
Gavin Newsom.
Or do you figure that this show is almost dead in the water now that I'm going to have to use the new Skype?
He reminds me of Gavin Newsom. But talking about Gavin Newsom, I guess what's her name was let go from Fox today. Garfoyle. What's her first name? Kimberly or
I don't know. I don't watch Fox.
Oh, well, Garfoyle is on that. She's a commentator, and she was married to Gavin Newsom. She was the one that got cheated on. It seems as though she has left Fox because she's now engaged, or I believe engaged, to Donald Trump's son, Donald Jr.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Boy, he didn't take long to let the grass grow under his feet, did he?
Yeah, I think it's Kimberly Garfoyle. And she's a looker.
So she was what's his name's
first wife.
First wife. So what did Fox let her go?
Yeah.
Why'd they let her go?
I don't know. It was the headline. I didn't read too much into it, but it might have been on CNN.
Or did she quit?
Headline.
Did she quit?
I don't know, but she's no longer there.
Yeah.
Patrick, you saw it?
Patrick.
Yeah,
she was pushed out.
Yeah, she was forced out because she's going to campaign with her boyfriend Don Jr.
Ah.
And she hadn't been on the show for the past week, so I guess that explains that.
Well, maybe it could be they didn't want her being active in politics and also being a reporter on the air, which most companies, news companies would say. Yeah.
Well, she's not really a reporter.
No, but that
or commentator or whatever.
Commentator.
Mike Huckabee had to leave Fox. He had some show, and when he decided to run for president,
they had to take him off.
He had a show. So it's probably the same thing.
I think he got a show back since then. It's like a weekend show.
I liked his show. He used to play the sax or the guitar or something, and he was fun. He was good. He would play with other musicians. He was a normal guy.
One of the guys I liked. You know, is anybody else going to call tonight? What is this?
Not today.
It's Saturday. It's Friday night, for Christ's sake.
Well, I could say something that would make them mad.
No, that doesn't help.
Well, you know,
your mere presence is irritating enough.
Right. Well, the court will overturn Roe v. Wade, and now it'll go to the states. That'll get Renee. You want more?
Well, we haven't heard from Renee in a week or so. I don't know what.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. I hope
everything's okay there.
I hope you're okay. She's not even on the. What do you call it? The
Patrick
chat page. What?
Wasn't she going on that adventure thing? Working out for and working up to.
To go up to the volcano?
Yeah, but I think it's only like a one-day trip or something, wasn't it? Or something like that?
I thought it was like a week of the thing. Because I thought it was on, I don't know if it was on the Big Island or a different island that she was going to.
Oh, there was a boat that a burning piece of lava went through the roof of it. and a number of people got hurt.
It's funny. You get the news like 5 days late.
Yeah. No. I saw it 5 days ago. It's just that they are no longer allowed to go within 150 feet of the lava. Now they have to stay back 1,000 feet.
I wouldn't go within 5,000 feet of that lava. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Well, that lava bomb is what came through the roof and burned, what was it, 20 or 23 people?
And I don't know what happened to SG. He just kind of disappeared here.
I think he was eating dinner, and he didn't want to keep his camera on while he was eating.
Yeah, well, anyway. Now, if all I get is this many people from here on in, I can use the new Skype without any problem.
That's what I told you. It's a value.
You know, it got me so pissed off. You know, so pissed off. Why can't you just keep servicing the old one? You know, because what they're trying to do is just force people to do something.
That's what Microsoft does. That's why they were always getting sued, and everybody hated Microsoft until Bill Gates started giving away a lot of money.
Well, I mean, at what point? You know what's interesting is at what point did Steve Jobs become an asshole and Bill Gates became a hero?
I think Steve Jobs became an asshole when he moved into that garage and started making Apple computers.
Well, no, but I mean, it's like you've never known about and you've never associated Steve Jobs with being a philanthropist. Okay,
that's true, but I don't know if he did those things, off the record.
No, he didn't do anything, really, for the most part. I mean, he did whatever he did to give away his 15% or whatever for tax purposes. Yeah. But not like Bill Gates. You know,
didn't Gates hire a PR firm when there was a time when he was one of the most hated people in America. And I think he hired a PR firm to help him change things around, and they created the Bill and Melinda.
No, but that was all Melinda Gates. She's the one that redeemed his image, and what the interesting part was he said he was going to give away 90% of all his wealth.
Was that on his death?
To good works. No, during his lifetime. Because he said, what do I need? I got so much money, I can give away 90% of it, and I still got enough money to do whatever I want for the rest of my life. And nobody should be as rich as I am, and so I'm going to give it away. And he started giving it away. And he's still the second richest guy in America. He had only something like $45 billion at the time. He's got $75 billion now, and he's been giving it away like crazy.
Now, Bezos has 150 billion
today this week.
But is Gates still up at 2, or is he? People that have surpassed him.
He's at like 100 or something like that, 100 billion. Yeah, he's number 2.
Wow.
Number 3 is what's his name?
That Kardashian.
No, Facebook. No, she's only worth $1 billion or $2 billion, but she's the only
900 million.
She's the only almost billionaire to make it at that age.
Right. Zuckerberg, I guess, was the other one.
Zuckerberg, I think, is 3rd.
Yeah.
But not for long. At the rate that company's going and the kind of reaction to it that people have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the new evil. And, even grandpas and grandmas are stopping the use of Facebook. Now, people aren't using Facebook like they used to. They're tired of all the extraneous stuff. I mean, I get people that post anti-Trump stuff. It's really old,
Yeah, I only do it just to keep my presence. That's all. The only reason I've stopped really posting political statements on there because all of a sudden you get all this bullshit from people. You say something, you just want to say something. You don't need everybody to suddenly... And then by the time you get down to the bottom of the thread, they're not even talking about what you wrote about.
That's right.
You know, they're already on to cooking tips. You know,
I don't know how you do it with 5,000 followers. You know, I got about 300-400, and I don't want to see anything from anybody. You know, I'll post what I want to post, and that's it.
I've got 45,000 on Twitter.
And still, I thought that they were going to eliminate those accounts.
No.
Yeah, because Twitter said that they were eliminating thousands and thousands of accounts.
As of right now, as of this moment, okay.
So they haven't caught you yet.
I have 43,700.
And what did you have a couple of weeks ago?
43,800.
Oh, really? So you haven't lost many?
No. I mean, I've lost from the beginning when I bought them.
Yeah. So when you bought them, what did you have? 50 or 60?
I think I had 48, 49, something like that.
And
that was a couple
looks like I think Patrick has his hand up.
I know. Patrick
you can't
does have his hand up. Is anybody else going to call this fucking program tonight?
All I could see was his thumb.
I mean, I've got some nice people here, but geez, you know, we like to have a round robin discussion. Yes, go ahead, Patrick.
On my Facebook, if I post something, you know, and up political, versus you posting something political and it ends up in cooking tips, mine goes the other way. And I'm pretty innocuous when I post stuff.
Yeah.
I tend not to post much on politics, but there are a few people that like to just open it up for no reason. So, and I just leave them at I don't defend anybody. I don't block anybody. Let them do their thing. But for the same reason, when I did do it a few times, you just get hammered. And like you said, all you want to do is say this, and this, and that's it.
I block everybody. I don't want nobody doing nothing. I even unfriended my mother.
Yeah. We've been joined by Jack Bishop, who has to turn his camera on, but we've been joined by him.
Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. I just got a notification on my Skype.
You got one that I was telling you about. Huh?
Yeah, but it didn't say I had to do it. It said we are going to soon be, deactivating this version. But I've seen that threat before, and they don't. So.
Well, let's just sue the bastards.
You know, I haven't gotten any messages on my Skype.
Yeah, but you're using a Mac. I'm using.
Yes.
You know, if I go to my Skype on my Mac, let me see if anything comes up as I start saying, "Hey, this is an old version." See, what happens is they forget a lot about Macs. So, okay, so my Mac is zooming around. Come on. And there we go. And it doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And if
maybe Mac is the answer. Mac
this
the
week.
knife.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
I may have to go. I may have to go to doing the show on the Mac. Yeah. Although I don't like the way it renders on the Mac particularly, but let me see here.
Use my old one because it's powerful. It's a lot.
They say Skype just got better if you want to install the latest version. No.
Right.
Dismiss. Okay. But anyway, so they haven't gotten around to the Mac yet.
Well, maybe somebody will come up with a shareware and solve the whole damn problem.
Well, I wish by now you would have thought there would be somebody competing with Skype. But there isn't. That's the problem.
Well, somewhere in Frostbite Falls, Minnesota, there's a 16-year-old boy who hasn't come out of his room in 6 months who's working on the solution.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, you would have thought by now somebody would have come up with other things besides Skype. There are other things. I mean,
Jeff has.
Yes, Jeff.
Well, my question is, we use Skype all the time now, all of us, okay?
Yeah.
Who's getting compensated for that?
To begin with, I pay Skype at least $15 every 3 months for a phone number.
Oh, Yeah.
And
Yes,
I also
sure.
pay them for any calls I make, like when I call Bubbles or I call Stephen Pearl. I pay for that. What's wrong with you? You can't hold a signal, Jack?
Jack?
I can't hold a picture.
Yeah.
Picture freezes up.
Yeah. Well,
But it does that almost every night as I get started.
And then finally it stays.
Yeah. That's why I call you sometimes, just to get it unfrozen for the intersection, which is coming along here in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you have to warm the tubes up in your set?
No, I got to get the gas jet
Yeah.
turned up high enough,
But
See, I've got a gas-powered computer.
So I don't know how this show is going to render under the new system. And so I may give up doing the video version of this altogether. Unless I can find, if you guys, if I were to say go to something else that I found, another system, would you guys all follow me over there? I guess
you would, but Jack might not.
You are my leader. I'm like Sammy Davis to your Sinatra. I will follow you.
Yeah, I just wish there were an alternative, good alternative, but there isn't.
Well, I've got this.
By the way, I did find we've been using a thing called Log Me In here, so that for instance, Jack can post his shows and send his files over to me and all of that, and it allows him to take the server computer and run it like it's his own desktop, okay? And we've been using Log Me In, and they went up. The price started at $99, and then it went to $150, and then it went to $250. And this year they're going to make it $350, and I went, that's bullshit. I can't do that. I got to go look somewhere else. So I found this thing called Remote PC, and for the first year, it's $6.95 for the year.
Is Go to My PC the free one?
No, they bought Log Me In.
Oh,
they're now all part of that cabal. Okay, and in fact, I was told I wrote Log Me In. I said, how can this is price gouging? And they wrote me back and they said, well, we've been bought up by another company and they have to pay for it.
Yeah, or you do.
And I'm going, no, I don't. So anyway, so this place is $6.95, and then after the first year, it's $69.95. Okay, still a bargain at any a bargain. So we go over to this new system. Jack, is it any different from Log Me In? I mean, do you have you probably have less? What?
The biggest problem I had was the first night when I still had the Log Me In thing on my desktop, and I got screwed up as to where I was going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm saying once you got used to it, it's as good and more reliable and easier than Log Me In. So here is a company who's come up with an easier system of doing the same thing for $6.95 a year. Fuck
Maybe
you,
we'll
Log
talk to
Me
them
In.
about taking on Skype.
There's something that they use in my co-op called GoToMeeting.
No, but we were just talking about that.
The GoToMeeting.
Yeah, they bought Log Me In.
No, that was Go to My PC.
No, GoToMeeting.
Oh, okay. Go to My PC is another share program.
Yeah.
But because my IT guy put it on my computers so that he could log on to them and
I've got it so I can go on to Jack's computer. He's the only guy I'm doing it with, mainly because he's so bad at doing stuff that I can just go on there and do it for him.
This GoToMeeting is like Metro Media or something?
Say it. I'm a Luddite. I'm proud to be a Luddite.
Yeah.
I would be
You
a
want to
Luddite,
stay
but
that
I don't have any skins.
Yeah.
Yes. So this GoToMeeting is like Metro Media, something like that.
No, but that's the company that bought Log Me In.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they have to raise it to $350. $350 a year, and that's for one user. Do you know how many for two machines? Two machines.
Yeah.
Do you know how many machines I get for $6.95? 10.
Yeah.
Well, Phil Meyer is a great entrepreneur, being a Republican. Here's a business opportunity for you, Phil.
Yeah.
Unless
get out of the carpet business, find yourself some programmers in India. Be a real man.
hey, unless it's got fuzzy stuff on the top, it's out of my pay grade, and
you know what?
Well, I've always been of the opinion, though, that if you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. You know how to make businesses run.
You know what what Mac is doing with the next iteration of Mac, although it won't work on my machine here, the next OS, because my machine is being phased out as one of the ones you can update. But of course, I could take that Mini Mac and do it with the Mini Mac. Is that you'll be able to do groups with FaceTime, which you haven't been able to do up until now. And that may be a way of solving the problem. But then again, the only people that have FaceTime are people with Macs. So
I think everybody can get FaceTime, can't they?
No.
Isn't it a downloadable program?
Nope.
Oh,
no.
Well, what about those programs that supposedly convert Mac programs to Windows programs?
I think it's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
The reason I finally got a Mac was when Mac. See, it was strange. The Macs were not. What were they? They were using. I can't remember what system they were using as their system.
Unix.
Unix. No.
Before that.
It is Unix now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But the processor system, they went to Intel. Okay, and the minute they went to Intel, all the PCs were Intel as well. So they came up with a program you could have that would allow you to run PC programs on the Mac.
Yeah, virtual PC or something.
Yeah. And then there were a lot of other companies that came out with programs that even did it better than they did it, where you didn't have to leave your main screen. You could do it right from there. So that's when I was sold completely on the Mac, because I could use all my old PC programs. As it was, I found out that I never did use them, but I could do it. Now, because it was Intel, you could run PC programs on the Mac. But you couldn't run the Mac programs on a PC because Apple put a little piece of code in there that made it impossible for you to play a Mac program on a PC. If they didn't put that little thing in there, you could run Mac programs on the PC. But they went the other way, and nobody sued them over that. Nobody. Yes, Jack.
I got the solution.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think of it right away.
Well, is this
have the Russians hack into the system and do it?
Have what? The Russians hack into the systems and do it. Yeah, Russians, if you're listening, hack into Skype and make it so they can't change their versions.
Now, and everybody beat Trump up when he said to the Russians, "Why don't you find those emails that Hillary?"
Yeah, but he did it on the same day they discovered that the hacking was going on. That the hacking of the Democratic
was it the same day?
Yes.
Or was,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
So that was public knowledge.
Well,
the same day it became.
Well, the
what you thought he was saying as a joke, he may have been saying as something he knew.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to.
Yeah. So he was very quiet today, by the way. When he goes from the White House to the helicopter, and by the way, he takes that helicopter ride to New Jersey so he can play golf all weekend. Yeah, how much do you think that helicopter cost him to use? Okay?
Doesn't cost him a dime.
Of course it doesn't cost him a dime.
Cost us.
So between the White House and the helicopter, the press corps is standing there. And they're shouting out questions to him, and he usually stops and engages them and starts answering questions and so on. He kind of does his own press conference going to the helicopter. Today, Mr. President, what about these tapes that supposedly Cohn has? And he just went straight for the fucking helicopter. He didn't stop.
He's learning.
It was like nobody was there.
Yeah, he's learning.
Yeah. He's learning. I think he finally realizes he's in deep fucking shit.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything illegal about what he did.
Well, we will see. Hopefully, we got enough people in the U.S. Congress. They got some balls, or at least some people who like revenge, who will go after him.
There are,
don't see how.
Phil, there are several legal ramifications to this. I can't remember all of them. I think one of them I heard was wire fraud.
Yeah, but I don't think you can indict a sitting president for any of these things.
No, you can't. You can't indict him, but you can impeach him.
Yes.
Yeah, but then the reason that Clinton was impeached not put out of office was that he was impeached by one.
No, because they went to the Senate after the impeachment, which is the indictment. Okay.
Right.
He was never impeached.
He was never impeached because they went to the Senate, and the Senate didn't vote to find him guilty.
Right.
Okay.
So that's what I was saying. There was one arm of the House.
You can't charge a president with anything while he's in office, but you can impeach him. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the same thing. You're indicting him.
Right. But unless the Republicans lose the Senate, then I don't think anything could happen, right?
But he can be indicted once he leaves office, and hopefully he'll wind up in a federal prison with some old black dude like me named Rashawn who hasn't in 5 years.
There'll be a pardon because the next Republican...
well, the thing is, we pardon presidents in this country because we're a bunch of pussies. We think that putting the bastards in jail is going to lead to some downfall of the government. Bullshit.
How does that work? How did that work for Pol Pot and a few of his Cambodian buddies? That's what countries like that do.
And
to their
should be.
Okay.
I mean, seriously. The problem with this country is Americans want to play nice with each other. That's out. The time has passed.
Actually, the problem is that nobody is playing nice.
No, the thing is, these guys are still playing nice with each other. These guys are still, like, for instance, was it Maxine Waters who some yahoo from my state said, if you were a man, I'd tell you to fill your hand, or was it Jackson Lee down in Houston? I can't remember.
Maxine Waters is the one that only yells, impeach 45, impeach 45.
And that's what everybody on the Democratic side should be yelling.
Well, that's what she's yelling.
Well, that's what everybody on the Democratic side should be yelling, and those that aren't should be their funding from the Democratic National Committee should cut off.
I can't say that I'm for impeachment because of just the sheer devastation of it and the toll it takes on the country. The toll it took on the country.
What would be Alex, I ask you, and people that say that, what would be the damn toll?
Well, I mean, here's my feeling about it, and call me wrong and call me terrible, but
no,
the fact
I won't call you that.
But call me for dinner.
We'll call you late.
No, the thing is that I think that once we elect somebody president, you live with it.
Why?
You live with it, and then 4 years later, you work your ass off to get the bastard out of there.
If you realize you got a son of a bitch that's screwing up your country.
Well, no, wait a minute.
Or violating the law.
You see, here's the thing. To you, he's screwing up your country. To Phil, he's not screwing up our country.
No, he's
to
doing
Patrick,
the right thing.
I don't know how Patrick. How do you feel? Is he screwing up our country, Patrick?
50-50.
50-50.
If we're all right, look. If we're not strong enough to live through that, then we're not strong enough to be Americans.
Well, what I'm saying is that there's nothing that we really can't do anything for 4 years. Okay.
Under our present system, I would say, yes.
Under our system,
I would get rid of the whole electoral college deal because otherwise Hillary would be president right now, and the person with the most votes would win.
Yeah.
With person he keeps forgetting he was not elected by a majority of the people. He won the electoral college by playing the electoral game.
No, it's not a game. That's the rules.
It is
the way it works.
It is a game. It is the game that we are stuck with because we have this dickhead double system that no other country, no other democracy has.
We're a republic.
Well, you know,
representative republic.
Phil.
No other representative republic
Phil,
has. That's 250 years old, what we're functioning under.
How do you feel about the fact that your vote doesn't count?
It does.
It
some ways.
It didn't this time, and it didn't in the case of George Bush Jr.
But it did when I voted for Reagan.
Yes, but you know,
that was 30 years ago.
It's funny that the Electoral College has been in line with the popular vote almost every time in American history, but there have been exceptions, I think, 3 times in the last 40 years, something like that.
Something like
that. It's because of the population shifts.
Yeah, and the way we gerrymander and do things like that cause these problems to occur. And I think we have to relook at the electoral system and say, hey, it should be one person, one vote, and the person who gets the most votes wins. It's
okay.
They do that. Wait a minute. They do that on American Idol.
If you live, but this is an American Idol. If you lived in a state that would their voters would never get any retribution because they don't have the population and they're not getting representation, you would feel the opposite way. You know, as far as I'm concerned, okay, there's a majority of Democrats in California. There's a majority of Democrats in New York. So therefore, those states are going to go. But why would you let just 2 states command the entire selection process when 48 other states are not getting their just due?
Well, let me ask you this. Why should those other states have a due when we only use this electoral college nonsense for the top office? If you said representation, it is your congressmen and your senators that represent you, not the president.
But those are done statewide, not nationally. When you take the presidential election, it's a national election. When you vote for your senator or congressman,
are you saying it should be a beauty pageant? Maybe that's the problem we have right now.
Unfortunately, you got to have hair to be president. But you know, and it is a beauty pageant because the American people aren't really worthy of this great system that we have, because they vote for the guy with the best hair rather than the guy with the best position.
No, the problem we have with the American voter is the American voter cares more about football than he cares about his government.
Well, you know, I don't know about that, but I do know that I don't want 2 states dominating the other 48.
Well, that's why that's why I've said time and time again on the intersection, it's time to break this country up into smaller units.
No, but wait a minute, Phil. By saying that, then you should be against the Electoral College.
No, I'm for the Electoral College.
Let me finish, Phil. Huh? Because then it is just pure vote. Whether the people in Montana are voting for this guy or not voting for this guy, all I'm saying is that, in other words, it wasn't the size of states that made Hillary win the popular vote.
No. Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Because it was California that most of these 3 million votes came from.
Okay, so you're saying those 3 million votes should be discounted?
No, not at all.
Well,
but
they were.
California gets so many electoral votes.
They were, Phil.
Yes, but they get so many electoral votes based on their population. So
everybody gets at least 3.
Correct.
Okay,
and you want to take
3.
those away from states? With,
but I'd like to base it on their population.
Well, it is, isn't it?
No, it's not.
No.
That's what it's historically based on.
No, but it's
population.
But it doesn't fit anymore.
And states like South Dakota and states like Nevada can get the same equality as states like New York or Florida or California or even Texas, for that matter, by population. It's the same as how we choose how many
congressional districts.
How many congressmen
we have from each state. I mean, not everybody has the same. We all have the same number of senators, too, but it depends on what state and how big it is, like Vermont versus Wisconsin versus California. all distributed to equalize the population, so everybody's equally represented.
Not everybody is equally represented. I just took a look at the congressional map for my congressional district, and it looks like nothing that has anything to do with the counties that I live in and around. You got there's one county that has this one long, thin rope.
Hey, yeah.
That goes out into the middle of nowhere so a certain congressperson could get elected because there were more voters from their party out that way.
Hey,
by the way, we've been joined by Brian Ludwig, who brought ice cream and is going to share it with the rest of us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What kind of ice cream?
My days of eating ice cream are over.
What kind of ice cream is that, Brian?
Looked like peanut butter.
Chocolate peanut butter, yeah.
Chocolate peanut butter.
Don't want me.
I was so proud tonight. I had my salad for dinner, and I checked my sugar level. It was 108, and I was jazzed. I'm not going to eat anything.
Good. Cobb salads are pretty good. I'll eat those every once in a while when I'm on the road and whatnot.
What salad?
Cobb salad.
Cobb salad, yeah. Problem with Cobb salad, though, you got some corn in there, and that is empty calories.
Sugar.
And sugar. I usually, but salads, you're pretty good sticking with salads. Yeah.
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 And Phil, you can. Are you taking any medication?
Oh shit! Am I taking
for your diabetes? Are you taking any medication?
Oh yeah, I take metformin, and then before I eat anything that has some carbs, like I had a hot dog this afternoon, I took a glipizide, which will lower your.
Let me tell you what my endocrinologist told me years ago.
All right.
Both of those are caca. If you really want to control your sugar,
stop eating the shit that.
No. You do what your body does or did for you at one time. You get on insulin. And it gives you much more flexibility and much better control.
Yeah, the problem with insulin is that once you get on it, you have to test like 5-6 times a day.
No, you don't.
You have to know.
Who told you that?
My nutritionist. If you are going to eat something that has carbs in it, you got to know how many units of insulin you're going to give yourself.
Do you know how many? All right, I've been on insulin or some kind of insulin or some kind of insulin substitute now for 25 years.
Have you heard of this Victoza stuff?
I'm taking not Victoza. I'm taking Trulicity. I take 1 shot a week.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. A friend of mine's doing that, and he lost 24 pounds since January.
Yeah, I have lost, since going on it, I have lost about 15 pounds. But look, it's a minor inconvenience to have the kind of flexibility that I have.
I asked my doctor to get me the Victoza, and he says, just stop eating carbs. And you won't need it.
Alex will tell you how hard that is, right, Alex?
What?
Stopping the carbs.
No, I didn't.
Because you have carbs and things that you are not even aware that has carbs.
There's carbs in air.
I can tell you the carbs in just about everything since I went on this diet.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to learn that?
It doesn't take that long.
You read the book. All you got to do is look at the back of a box of stuff.
Yeah.
For instance, on that ice cream, Brian, look at the thing that says, is it carbohydrates would be that? It's on the other side.
Carbohydrates.
Yeah, it's on that side.
Right.
It'll say 3 things. It'll say calories, carbs, and sugars.
Yeah. And under carbs, it'll also say sugars and dietary fiber.
That's right.
Well, under total carbohydrate, it reads 16 grams, 5%, dietary fiber, 1 gram, 4%, and sugars, 10 grams.
See?
10, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you're getting the majority of your grams, and that's just for one portion, which may be 2 scoops.
or two bites.
But I'll say this, a lot of people are afraid of insulin.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be.
I'm not afraid of the needle.
It's not the needle. They're afraid of insulin. I've been in.
By the way, I saw this thing on TV where they have this new thing for checking your insulin, and it's a little meter, and you just put it up to your arm. And
that's what I've heard.
Wait a minute. But they don't want to give that to you.
They've got this round thing.
That's what I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, and every 5 minutes it tells you.
Okay, but wait a minute. How is that attached to you? Is it like a needle going through your arm?
It is less of an invasionary process than testing
pricking your finger.
Than pricking your finger.
Wait a minute. How does it check your blood? Does it actually have a needle that goes in to your arm?
If it's a needle, it is the smallest damn needle I've ever encountered. I don't even notice it.
And how do you stick it to your arm?
How do I stick it to my arm?
I mean, is it?
It's got an adhesive strip to it.
Yeah.
And taking it off because of the adhesive strip is much more uncomfortable than putting it on.
So do you take a shower with that?
Yep. Swim with it, shower with it.
So you permanently have to have that thing because you don't want to prick your finger.
The problem with pricking your finger, if you are a diabetic and have been one as long as I've been, and I've been a diabetic now for 35, 36 years, is it tears up your fingertips.
Well, since I started taking
it's like playing
Plavix,
guitar.
Since I started taking Plavix,
and by the way, a Jerry Lewis word. Go ahead.
Plavix. But since I started taking Plavix, when I prick my finger, I get the blood very easily now because I'm on blood thinners. So
you know what kind of vitamin Jerry Lewis used to take?
Riboflavin.
But Phil, over time, your fingertips will develop calluses.
Well, they did when I was in the carpet business. I mean,
okay. All right. So if you got calluses now, you will find that over time, you will start having trouble getting blood out.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go check with Patrick here. Has had his hand up there.
I'm not diabetic, but I do have to go periodically to get my blood checked because I'm on blood thinners. And the needle that they use, I don't even feel it going in, which I appreciate because I hate needles. And you'd be surprised that I hate needles if you knew my medical history. I've been through so many different damn surgeries and so many hospitals ever since I was basically 12 hours old. And if you ever want information from me, any information, you come at me with a syringe and I will tell you anything that I've ever done, ever in my life, or ever thought about doing, or what I know about people. Absolutely. And if I ever became a diabetic, I would probably do exactly what you have there on the back of my arm.
Mm-hmm.
I would scream like a baby putting it up because just the thought of putting even a little needle in repels me. And I had to give myself injection after my past surgery for blood thinners, and I can't feel anything below my chest, but there are some nerves that are alive, and you know damn well right I hit them motherfuckers every once in a while. And it is the worst fucking thing than if you would have just have full feeling down there, because then you know it's gonna hurt. But I
get surprised.
Yeah, I can't do the needle thing. Damn.
Yeah, and as we're
that you'd rather have a dildo jammed up your ass than have a needle in your skin.
Yeah.
Well,
and by the way, just remember that Brian is sitting here, listening to all of this, working on trying to get diabetes. So
he's doing a good job,
and he's doing a good job of it.
Necessarily, diabetes is not caused necessarily by.
I used to have sugar like crazy, and I never had diabetes.
Yeah,
if I don't get diabetes, it'll be something else. So you know what? Fuck it.
Well, it is a hereditary.
It's a real pain in the ass to get sick. Trust me.
It is diabetes is a hereditary condition. If I was told, because of my family history on both sides, and some people say, "Oh, something runs in the family," it gallops through both sides of my family.
But you don't have to be a diabetic. If I would have known then what I know now.
Well, here's what my doctors. Here's what my doctors told me after they did the family history thing.
Yeah.
They said if I had have continued to exercise and weigh what I weighed as a senior in high school, I would have become a diabetic. My mother's older brother, who was always a very active man and never weighed more than 170 pounds in his life, became a diabetic.
Yeah.
My grandfather, who was an active man, worked hard for a living, and another guy who never put on a lot of weight, at 60, he became a diabetic.
Well, the weight is a factor, but it's not everything. Brian, do you have any symptoms do you have dry mouth? Do you have maybe some vision issues that change
excuse
on
me,
you?
ladies and gentlemen, the doctor is in.
Yeah. So, for instance, do you find yourself really thirsty at times, and having dry mouth? These are some of the symptoms that you get as a pre-diabetic.
You're destined to die as a freak. Here's the way I look at it philosophically: you're destined to die sooner or later of something as a precondition for living.
But you don't have to make it a miserable death.
That's right. That's why he's eating the ice. That's why he's eating the ice cream now.
Kevorkian taught us that. Listen, you don't have to make it. You don't have to make
Kevorkian's dead. He doesn't have to fight that battle anymore.
Yeah, but he helped a lot of people who did have to fight a harsher battle than he
because they were in pain from cancer and all sorts of other issues. You don't have to be. I mean, you could drive off a cliff. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, but he was using chemicals and whatnot that were very humane. The way you would put down a beloved pet would be the way he would put
didn't
down.
He pull up in his Volkswagen bus and people would get in the back of the bus and he'd attach his Kevorkian machine and they'd end up dying?
Unfortunately, yes. But that's only
the way I want to die, in the back of a Volkswagen bus.
Because your government advocates limited government, except when it comes to what one does in the bedroom or how one wants to.
So you mean in all the years that Clinton was president and Obama was president, and it's been the same thing? Yeah. It's my government.
When I say your government, I'm not just referring to you, Phil. I'm referring to all establishment people but especially the Republicans who think they preach a good game about limited government. But
no, that's only because the Constitution says that they're all guaranteed life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that's why they don't like abortion because.
I was just thinking tonight. It would be nice.
Not the pursuit of life.
It'd be nice
suicide. Somebody who can't off themselves because they're physically and physiologically incapable of doing so. How are you comparing? What world are you able to make these apples and oranges comparisons?
It's very simple. There are people that commit suicide every day. We've had a lot of celebrities lately that did it. Kate Spade, Robin Williams. I mean, now are there penalties for committing suicide? Sure, you don't get insurance for your family.
Roseanne Barr.
Well, how is that suicide?
But Phil, look, I had a dear friend that died of Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible, horrible death. And those of us who knew him and loved him all said that if we had the courage to do it, we would have killed him.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the courage.
The great thing about Parkinson's is you can.
It's what Trump had to that.
You can make a great martini. Yes, Patrick.
You can do your own dance moves.
I've always been in support of assisted suicide in extreme cases.
As is I.
You know, like cancer, things like that. And I believe you need to go through a psychiatric evaluation to make sure you know what you're doing, that it's not just an off-the-hand suicide. But what really solidified my view on that is when I became paralyzed and I was in the hospital and I was there for 6 weeks, there was a kid, he was 17. He was a tetraplegic, which means basically all he could do was blink his eyes, and that's it. But he had full function of his brain. He understood what you were saying, but all he could do was blink. And all that I could think of...
So that's even worse than a quadriplegic.
While I was there, was this poor kid is only 17, and we are not allowed to give him the option of if he wants to stay blinking his eyes from now until he's 75, 80, 90 years old, and never be able to do anything with his life. I mean,
how do you know that he can't? You know, you got a guy like Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, Phil.
Yeah.
The difference is Hawking could speak through it was a synthesizer. This kid was basically a set of blinking eyes in a wheelchair.
But blinking eyes can create.
All right, Phil, do you want to live that way?
No, but
okay, then shut up.
But instead of the point that I'm making, Phil, is when I was in therapy with him, he was near me many times, depending on what we were doing. They would throw a ball at him, okay? And he would never catch it, obviously. You know what the fucking therapist would say to him? Good job. And I was thinking to myself, in this kid's head, he's probably fucking crying and screaming, just fucking kill me. And the point I'm making, Phil, is once he would reach 18, shouldn't he be given the option, because he was totally cognitive from what I understood, to be able to say, you know what, this is bullshit.
No, you read the book on logorhythmia by Viktor Frankl.
Did you ever
wait a minute, hold on a second. Let Brian talk, okay?
Or ask him by any chance on the side when nobody was around. Blink. I don't mean to be crass or anything. Would you want your life to be taken? Blink once for yes, or once for no, twice for yes. Did you ever ask him anything like that?
Me?
Yeah. Or did you know of anybody who did?
It's not my. One, it wasn't my place, and two, I was freshly paralyzed. I mean, I was dealing with my own shit. But all I could think of is how grateful I was that my paralysis was merely just a loss of my legs, my bowels, my ability to piss on my own, and feeling from the chest down. At least I had my arms.
Yeah, you have all the rest of things going for you.
Yeah,
hey, listen.
Even quadriplegic who don't have the use of their arms fully, they can drive.
Yeah.
Can talk.
Listen, I got to go. We've run out of time, and Jack's waiting to do a show next. That's why he left us. Phil, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight, as well as Jeff. You've been a little quiet tonight, Jeff. Didn't have much to say. But we enjoy having you there anyway, because it looks like there are people calling the program. Thanks to Jack, who just left us. Thanks to, of course, to Patrick and to Brian, ladies and gentlemen,
and SG,
who never really said anything this evening, which is unusual for SG. Anyway, I'm Alex Bennett, and that's our citizens panel for tonight. What would be nice is if you would all give them a big wave goodbye, and we can say goodbye to you. Okay, that's our citizens panel, folks. A small one tonight, but nevertheless a lot of fun and people we enjoy talking to. And we'd like you to be one of them, too. I'll be back again next Tuesday night. No shows until Tuesday night. But the intersection is next, so there is a show. And also Connections, a brand new episode at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We'll see you, let's see, Tuesday. I'd like to say after Damien's show, but he's not going to be doing a show Tuesday. So I'll be here at 10 o'clock, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye.